Thank you for watching Thew Talks. Since my Frieren video did so well last time, here's another Frieren video. So Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, and Bojack Horseman, they both dive into the meaning of death, and they tackle it in completely different ways. It's like having the same conversation with the big question, what does death mean? And how can we live in the face of it? And honestly, philosophers like Nietzsche and Camus will have a lot to say in both of these shows. Both fantastic shows. This is how they see death differently. In Frieren, death is framed as inevitable but meaningful. A key moment is when Frieren visits the grave of Himmel, her former party leader, and realizes how little she actually understood his feelings when he was still alive. That scene sets the tone for the entire series. Frieren begins to reflect on the transcendent nature of human life and how much she took it for granted. It's like Himmel's idea of being towards death. Understanding morality helps us to live more authentically. Frieren's journey is about honoring those who's passed by growing from what they left behind. Bojack Horseman, on the other hand, throws you into the messiness of death. Think about Sarah Lynn's overdose, for example. This entire arc isn't just tragic, it is devastating because of how preventable it feels. Bojack's choice is directly led to her death, and her life is a symbol of wasted potentials. This aligns with the existentialist theme of particularly Saltless idea that we are condemned to be free, and we are fully responsible for our actions. Bojack spends the series grasping of how his selfishness impacts others, and death is often the ultimate consequences of that. A little bit of this still sprinkles in Frieren, where Frieren often regrets on not spending more time with Himmel while he was still alive, and that her decisions are ultimately her feeling sad right now. Now let's talk about the emotional vibes. Frieren hits you in a quieter, reflective way. A good example of this is when she encounters a village where her late comrade, Hyder, had quietly founded an orphanage. The children don't even know his name, but his actions continue to ripple through their lives. This moment of the show shows how legacy doesn't have to be a grand to matter. It is very Aristotelian way of focusing virtuous actions shaping the meaningful life. In Bojack, on the other hand, death is loud and unrelenting in its emotional weight. Take The View from Halfway Down, for example, where Bojack hallucinates his own death and sees people from his past that he has died, like Sarah Lynn and his abusive mother, Beatrice. The whole episode is a surreal confrontation with morality and regrets. The title itself is very chilling. It captures the realization of irreversible mistakes, like where the poet of the scene says, "The thing that I cannot foresee is what I have not finished to begun." This is very Kierkegaard, and the fear not just of death, but the choices that led to there. In Frieren, legacy is tied to memory and action. A prominent example of this is when Frieren collects the fragments of Himmel's life by talking to the people that he has helped on his journey. Even decades later, people still remember Himmel for his kindness when sparks of Frieren's desire to understand the better of human emotions and relationship. This echoes Stoic ideas about living in a virtual life where your actions, not your lifespan, defines your legacy. In Bojack Horseman, legacy is haunting pressure. One striking scene is when Bojack reads the scathing obituary about his mother in his hallucination. It's brutally honest, laying his bare failures and his toxic behavior. This moment reflects Nietzsche's idea of eternal recurrence. What if you had to live your life over and over again exactly as the way it is? Could you face the choices that you made? Bojack certainly can't, and his obsession of remembering well prevents him from living a meaningful life in this moment. Frieren tries to live a meaningful life, but since she is immortal, she often loses the motivation to do it, so every day she just wakes up anew and collects memoirs. Alright, the big takeaways are, Frieren says, death is a reminder to live with a purpose and kindness. It uses Frieren's journey to show us how memories of others and their legacy of their actions shape us long after they're gone. Death isn't just an ending, it's a continuation through those who remember. Bojack, on the other hand, says, you can't escape death or your choices, you gotta face them. It forces us to confront the chaos and the regret that comes with being a human being. asking whether we can find meaning despite our flaws and failures. Death here is a mirror, reflecting all the ways we could have lived and failed to live. By blending these perspectives, you get a full picture. Frieren shows death as a teacher while Bojack shows death as a reckoning. Thank you for watching.